Alright guys, so we are back on the tablet here where I can use an interface where I can kind of draw over it. Now the downside to this is not going to be as crisp in quality because it does not deal with WebM as the PS5. So there's a little bit give and take with this. Okay, now as you can see here, I'm Zando Gang, and I'm going to show you the 2 wins I acquired to get to 100 with this video. So as you can see, I'm at 116 with my record, and obviously a lot of my losses came in the beginning when I picked up the game as I tried to learn and interact with how the game is coded and etc. So I figured I'd do this so I can get a little bit more content for you guys. So here's a quick match. Got into the game. So here's the thing I wanted to answer for you guys. I think when you guys alluded to cover 4 match and my thoughts on that. Well, here's the thing. The patch just came out, I think, like 5 days ago. So, match was all screwed up, so I wasn't playing match at all. And you're going to see an instance of that in this video because you know how you can read how many plays was selected in your play call screen. So you're going to see what play I chose the most up until the patch, whatever days ago. I think it was 5 days ago. And that play is cover 3 cloud. So they come out in a condensed set, as you see here. Go watch my videos on how to defend tight offset and condensed splits. And I like to play with a single high coverage against this particular formation. Go watch my video on that. I can't stop at every second in every part of the video because it'll be too long. But I do have a video on that. I think I have a 4-part series. Notice how I move this guy outside of the offense so he can properly leverage the outside of the formation. This guy's in a flat and he's already leveraged outside, and I love playing cover 3 cloud against condensed sets. And we'll see what transpires here. I don't remember what happened. Okay, it's a run. So as you see, he's going outside, and our flat player is able to take it down. Okay, so he goes with another condensed split, and look, again, I take that player and I move him to the outside. A lot of making your defense better with these different zones is pre-snap alignment. I've noticed moving them in a better position to defend a particular formation makes the play that much better. If you have him here, he can still get leverage to the outside, right? And that's what we don't want them to do in a condensed formation. A lot of times when they condense the formation in, they're trying to break outside with different routes, right? So why give that to them? Why not leverage the outside of the formation when they do that and force them to work inside to where they're not really comfortable in doing so, right? So enough about that. Why don't I just start playing some of this stuff? And there's a problem right there. I mean, well, I tell you, I'm really bad with this stuff. Okay, we can pay attention to the route comment. And this is why I've been able to get away with cover 3 cloud. I'm just in shock how I'm able to just get away with it. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, you got stock zone, you got regular man, right? And then you got like man match. Okay, and there's more. There's zone match, whatever, right? What I'm getting at is if you run into a person who doesn't understand passing concepts, they don't vertically stretch defenders, they don't horizontally stretch defenders. Okay, they just send routes, crossing pattern here, slant here, corner here, right? There's nothing stretching anyone. Well, then that's where you want to play more zone, right? And you'll see that as this video progresses. Now, why would you play man against that? Right? A lot of you guys are probably playing right into your opponent's hands. They don't understand passing concepts, so they're just sending crossing patterns, slants, and everything all over the field. And you're playing man-to-man coverage against that, and your defenders are forced to run with those routes. Right? So, for example, if we're man-to-man here, and crossing pattern, right? Pattern like this, crossing pattern, right? Man to man. Well, now we're chasing these routes and we can get rubbed and picked off in the muck, right? That's a problem. You would much rather, if you're going to run something stupid like that, we would much rather have better leverage on that. So let's say I'm in a zone, right? I close off this window and he runs into another guy who's in a zone here who has him out leveraged to the outside, right? This guy's playing over the top and maybe he's playing underneath that. And you're just kind of waiting for that route to run into you, right? You out leverage the routes, right? So again, if man, this video is already too long, man. This is the way I look at it. If a guy doesn't understand passing concepts, he's not stretching the fenders properly, doesn't understand how to do it, I play a lot more zone. Okay, if my opponent is playing concepts to where he's stretching the fenders, playing high-low stretch, vertical stretch, horizontal stretch, that's when I play match, right? Okay, and man is a totally different animal. Match is really, it is man, but it starts off as zone to where they're reading the route distribution, and then they turn into man, and they're trying to maintain proper leverage on specific routes. Okay, enough about that. But look, I mean, look at this. Like, look at the route combinations here. Right, up the field, cross, cross, right? So I'm just sitting here waiting for him to throw that. I rode this guy up the field, and then I just get in the window of the throw. Interception. Okay. Yeah, dancing is after you get an interception is strategic as well. You want them to quit so you can move on to the next game. And so I guess I got some offense in here too. Okay. Read the defense. Really, you know, it's this cover 4 drop. So we're going to get a pretty good tell here. That's why I'm going to just go ahead and run it. It's a soft box. Snap the ball. And when I run the ball, I like to look at the safeties. So it does look like he was in some soft drop type of cover 4. And we got to love how our center, you know, did what he did. But that's okay. Okay, I check into the run again. Don't abandon the run. Just be, okay, that was BS as well, but that's okay. Okay, for whatever reason, I put this in slow motion. I don't know why. Okay, so I check into our levels divide play. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. He's in a seam read, up the seam against middle of field closed, post against middle of field open, and then we're going to change him to a comeback. And then he's in a check release. Okay, so what we're doing with this play, definitely go check out the video on that play. I'm not going to go into deep details. If it's double high, then we work the level side. If it's single high, then we work this side. Okay, right now it looks like double high. So if at the snap of the ball it maintains double high post snap, then we're just keying off of this defender. Okay, if he plays underneath on the underneath in pattern, then we look to throw our guy behind him. If he jumps in the window of that, then we can throw the underneath in pattern. If he does the worst of both worlds and goes to the outside, well, now we can throw to whoever we want to. Okay, now what do I do with this play? One thing I didn't put in that video is when it's a double high, you got to understand that there are times where they show double high pre-snap, right? But then post-snap, they rotate into single high. And that may throw you off because you're looking to attack the level side against double high. Post-snap, they rotate, and you're supposed to be attacking this side. I have no problems against that because what we do is we post-snap read with this play. I like to read this safety on the level side every single time. Post-snap, we pre-snap, they're showing double high. Okay, they don't have to tell the truth pre-snap, but they have to tell the truth post-snap. Post-snap, if he stays here or plays deep half, then I stay, right? I like to say, if you stay, I stay. I as in my eyes, right? You stay over here, then my eyes stay over here because I'm working this side. However, if you leave, like you come down or you go to the deep middle, then I leave, or my eyes. And then my eyes go to this side because I know it's single high and I'm working my comeback seam read. Okay? So post-snap, I should be keying this player by going levels divide. And he's going to dictate if they are truly playing a double high coverage. If I recall correctly, I think he was. Now, please forgive me on the slowdown. I forgot that in this particular program that I'm running, I can actually press pause and run it myself. Pause. Okay, that's a stay. So my eyes stay over here. We're going to work the level side. Now we are reading this player. What are you going to do? Okay, worst of both worlds, I can work the slant unless he drives on it. I mean, not the slant, the in. But this guy should pop wide open because this guy is not going to drive on that. Okay, obviously I'm greedy here. And we pick up a first down. No huddle. Okay, soft box. I check into the run play again. Horrible running there, but that's fine. You know, even running the ball and not getting yards, you maintain the threat of the possible run. Here's the thing I like about this offense. We can audible into the single back doubles. It's really quick because you go to the audible sheet and you just move it over one time and there's the doubles. So, you know, you don't have to click over 4 or 5 times to find the formation. And what happens is the quarterback will come under center and the back will move over into his position as a back again in single back doubles, and it happens really quickly. It looks like, you know, the way Peyton Manning used to do it, right? So I just check into a running play from that particular formation and look at the vision. We cut in and we get a touch. Okay, back on defense. And this is what I've been doing. This play against a formation like this theoretically should be horrible, but players are so like I don't mean to be on the high horse, guys. I'm just giving a fact. The average player is so bad that you can get away with just playing stock zone like this, right? Because again, there is no stretching defenders. They're just kind of just picking a play, hot routing everyone and throwing the ball, right? So, you know, I moved them inside. Okay, I moved them outside. I was thinking, why would I do that? And guess who's at fault for this? Okay, so I moved them outside. For whatever reason, I got inside. I should have drove on this. But that's completely on me, and that's fine. You know, you don't play perfect. You're going to lose some games. You're going to mess up. He goes a condensed formation again. Single back, I think deuce. Okay, I should have picked that off, but I'll blame that on me. And now we see what he's doing. Because obviously he can see that I'm picking cover 3 cloud every time. So you got to recognize what people are doing when they see you selecting defensive plays, because they see what you're selecting. So I see his response to seeing cover 3 is a good choice. He's going verticals, right? So that's something that you got to keep in mind. All right, I see how he's play selecting now, right? So I go cover 3 cloud again, and I move the flat defender inside because I want him to get a press animation on the close split by the tight end there. He's in a bunch here. But I want you to pay attention. What's the problem here? The problem is, here's the offense. The field is over here. There's more space to this side of the field as opposed to this side because we're on the right hash, right? So this is the boundary side. Boundary over here, field over here. Theoretically, he should want his bunch on the field side, right? Because you have 3 offensive threats, which would mean they have more space to work with on the field side. But this is another thing a lot of players do wrong online, right? They don't understand the game. They just pick a formation and go. He's putting his 3 offensive threats on the boundary side of the field, which means less space for them to work with. And with that in mind, we can do a lot of different things for the defense because they are compromising themselves, right? We're not even doing anything to them. He is bringing himself at a disadvantage, right? So there's funky things we can do with our alignment on the boundary side to give him even more trouble on this side, right? And hopefully I get into that in this video, but I think this is going to be way too long. Okay, and he just throws an errant pass. Okay, we dance so he can quit, right? So we're gonna move on to another game. And mission accomplished. Okay, so now I'm just gonna show you my 100th game where I won, and hopefully we get into some more interesting material here. Mr. Jiggle the Wiggle. Alright, so I come out. Oh, this is a blitz, right? So, I mean, again, pre-snap read, guys. Right? What's the pre-snap read? 4-2-2-0-3-1. This is obviously cover 0, right? So I have a play in our playbook. It's called wide receiver post that I like to run if I'm trying to attack cover 0. It's excellent. We have a deep post, deep out. Like a little spot up route. He runs like a deep dig. So we have the Salem concept on this side of the field. I don't even know what this player runs in stock because I'm always, oh, okay, yeah, he runs like this. Okay, so there's different ways I deal with this play against cover 0. Again, we have to block up the 6th person coming. So you can motion the tight end and he will get on the LOS and you can use him to block, or you can block the back. Depends on the front, right? So I don't want to get too long on this, but where we're trying to attack, we really want to attack the deep post because the middle of the field is wide open in cover 0, and that's where it is extremely weak. Okay, because there's no safety help deep over the top. The problem is the blitz can get there before you can throw it. That's why you have to protect to pick it up. But then we also have a second option on this deep out. When you're playing cover 0, okay, a lot of times they're playing with inside leverage because they don't want to give away the inside, right? Think about it, okay? These two players, I'm man-to-man with you. Okay, we draw a center line through both of these players. Excuse my drawing. Where is there more space? Obviously here, on this side of the line, right? Think about it, field and boundary. This is more so the field relative to those two players. And this would be the boundary more so to these two players. Okay, so as a defender, if you don't know where I'm going, you know, a lot of times you don't want to give up where there's more space, you know, a deep post pattern, etc., because there's more space for the quarterback to lay a ball up over the top, etc. Okay, so a lot of times they're playing with inside leverage. Okay, we rather you run a route where there's less space for you to work with. Okay, now obviously you can play head up where you're not playing with inside or outside leverage, but it would be criminal, absolute criminal for a corner in cover 0 to play with outside leverage, right? Because you're taking away where there's less space and you're giving me more space to the inside, right? So that's why I really like the deep out against cover 0. So that's our second option. That's why this play is actually pretty money against cover 0. And then we have the deep post here. Now you definitely want to play with inside leverage, right? So think about how football, I mean, it's all about space, right? Draw a line through both of them. Where is there more space relative to the line, the center line between these two players? Obviously over here. Right? So as a defender, you want to play with inside leverage. You'd rather me run something this way, right? Because now you have to fit a really perfect ball, you know, into the space that I'm kind of giving away. I hate to use the word giving away, but I hope you understand. So why don't I just keep going? I talk too much. Bring them in. So I decided to go with the tight end block. Okay, 6-man protection. We pick everything up. Look how clean we are in this pocket here. So if I feel like pressure is coming, then I'm getting rid of the ball quickly to the out pattern. You see how that's open there, right? If we throw right at the top of the route, the ball's here, catch it in rhythm, and then we're trying to break a tackle, right? But because the pocket is clean and we have a good feel for the pocket, right? The defender who was defending the tight end is playing deep half over here, right? So we don't care about this over here. We want this. Money. So I believe I made a mistake here. Okay, pre-snap read, right? What is this? Cover 2 zone. And this is where I ended up making a mistake. So I'm real, I like to confirm, okay? Because I know down here in the red zone, the pre-snap read can get a little bit murky. I've noticed that with the game. They align a little bit differently down here in the red zone, which is something that I love, right? Okay, so I want to confirm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check into a run play, okay? I like this run play because as we run it, I'm looking at these guys, right? And notice how they're backing up as if they are playing deep halves, okay? So when I see this, I'm like, okay, when he shows that pre-snap look down here, it's definitely cover two, right? So I go no huddle, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to check into our play that can destroy two-man or cover two zone. We have a very good read here, right? Switch releases on both sides, and I like to throw the post. We get 3 deep routes challenging 2 safeties, right? So they can never be right. And here's where I made a mistake and threw an interception. Snapped the ball, and I didn't read it post snap. Look how this corner is playing over the top outside. The safety is playing a little bit more inside. So this looks like some type of cover 3 cloud, right? The middle of the field is actually closed. I'm thinking the middle of the field is open. I was assuming, right? So I was actually looking here the whole time, waiting a little bit, ready to just throw the post. And I was like, oh, wow, I messed up. So that's the whole point of post-snap reading. I should have confirmed post-snap with the safety. And that's one of my weaknesses a lot of times. Because I'm so used to playing players that I just, you know, it's very rare you run into somebody who plays a little bit differently, right? So I just assumed that he was still going to be in some type of cover 2, and I was wrong. Look, I play cover 3 cloud. You got like a little bunch thing here. I leverage the outside of the formation with my curl flat. He ends up running the ball. That's fine. So I think what I'm going to do from now on is when I go through games, I'm just going to show the important plays. Because I think the way I talk, the way I try to break down stuff and provide my thoughts, the video would be just way too long to even deal with the mundane plays, right? So this would be a lesson learned, but hopefully after going through this and uploading it, I decide to go ahead and throw it on YouTube anyways. Okay, here's a game I play, guys. I know you're thinking, what the hell am I doing, right? I'm playing cover 4 match. Okay, this is post-patch. Okay, cover 4 match. So I think this is like right after the patch to where I'm finally playing cover 4 now. Right, I was playing cover 3 cloud against bunch and everything pre-patch, but now I'm starting to throw in my match stuff. The reason why I love match, okay, is because it's a split field coverage. We can do whatever we want on this side of the field with our defense, and we can do something totally different on this side of the field. It's almost like you're running 2 different defenses. Now, what did I do on this side? You know, I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Okay. But remember, the corner was over here and the safety was over here, right? And the pre-play art is where they're playing quarter zones, and then you have the quarter flat going like this. And obviously, if you understand match, you know that with the match on, they're not doing that. Okay. Well, against a bunch set, the corner over here is Meg on this receiver. And the safety over here really plays almost like a post control, okay? And these 4 are dealing with the bunch, right? I have first deep inside, first deep outside, first underneath outside, first underneath inside, right? So it's a 4-on-3 here. And then we get a 3-on-2 over here, right? So one game I'll play is, as you saw me do, I like to do it on the boundary side, okay, because there's less space for this corner to travel, is I'll move the corner inside as if he's coming on a blitz. But post snap, he's going to whip his head around, as you see here, playing man-to-man coverage on the outside receiver. What players will do is when they see you align this guy inside, they will do all types of funky stuff. But that's something that they have to think about, right? What is he doing? Is he coming on a blitz, right? That's the first thing that they want to account for, right? So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll keep the back into block. So now they check in a 6-man protection. And then post-snap, it's a surprise. I'm not coming. I'm actually playing man-to-man coverage on this guy. Another thing they will do is they will turn this guy into a fade pattern, right? Thinking, okay, I can throw this route. But that's what I take this safety here, and I play over the top of this receiver. So what I'm going to do is post-snap is, if you run a route inside, right? Well, then I kind of poach over the top, and then I'm just really playing deep middle of the field, waiting for something to come back across to rob a route from the bunch. I really don't even deal with this route coming inside underneath. And the reason why that is because we have this player who will whip and turn and play this route, and he should have inside leverage on the route, right? So we're not concerned about getting beat inside. This player should be able to be in a prime position to do that. However, if he takes an outside release, as we see here, well, then obviously I'm not playing deep middle. I know I have to top this route because that route will beat my corner, right? So now we're playing almost like a two-man deal underneath trail technique, right? Think about the games we play just with realignment alone, right? Now we're going to add games to this, okay? How about we bring them inside and we do actually blitz them? Or we bring him inside and we do other things with him. Maybe he plays deep middle, right? In those particular cases, now I'm manning up this particular receiver every single time as a safety. Okay, but the possibilities are endless with match coverage when you understand the rules of the coverage, right? You got to understand the rules of the coverage so you can get a lot more creative with the different things you can do with it, right? And hopefully I get into that stuff as the year progresses. Snap the ball, and when I notice this outside release, I know I have to top the route. And this guy was open. He beat the safety, but it makes me wonder if he panicked and threw the ball thinking that a pressure was coming, right? So you see the compound problems we create with, being creative like that with the defense. Okay, single high. You guys probably know what I'm going to check into, right? I hope you've been running this play to success, but I see the press look. Right? See this press look? So what I do in this play is obviously we want to work single high, right? With the seam and the comeback. But with press, when they show the press look, I turn my guy into a deep go pattern on the level side. And I do that because I'm not concerned about the levels on this side at all. We're not going to be attacking double high at all. So at the snap of the ball, I have a two-way go. I look at this first. If he destroys them at the LOS right away, then I know I'm going here, because the safety can't help. He's the deep middle of the field, right? We'll have a touchdown. However, if he doesn't beat him, or if it's a bail, right, the corner turns and bails, then my eyes come back to the single high beating side, and that's where we work our 1-2 read, right? So there's little things like this you can do to optimize the offense against cover one single high press. So we're going to snap the ball. And again, I put this replay in here. I slowed it down because I forgot that right away, I mean, he just torched this guy. So right here in the drop, the ball just touched my hands. I already know I'm going there, right? That's how clear cut you can get in the game. Right now, I'm just kind of waiting for the play to develop so we can toss our touchdown and celebrate. So I got to tell you, man, I mean, this year's Madden has been a pleasant surprise. And I say that in a game where match was kind of busted, right? So that's saying something. And the reason why I say that is I've noticed gimmicky stuff that players used to run with, all the stuff that they used to do is just not as effective, right? Players are playing a lot better in their zones, recognizing stuff. The 3-rec, I think, is playing a lot better. So I think the sky's the limit this year in regards to defense. And that's before they started touching match, right? So I actually think it's going in the right direction. Does it still have a lot of problems? Yes. So again, draw a line down the center of the offense. This is the boundary side. This is the field side, right? What's the problem here? He has his 3 receiving threats on the boundary side. He needs to have them over here, right? So you see what I do here, right? Look how I took the outside defender and I move him further inside. What's the benefit of having my player way out here, right? To reroute him inside because I don't want him to attack this space out here. I could care less about that space. He has so little space to attack, right? So I leverage the problem he's creating for himself by squishing more inside with this defender, right? And you'll see me make a mistake here. I thought there's just no way he's throwing this ball here. on this out, I started jumping this, right? He threw it before I bailed down, right? So this clearly my fault. And we get an incomplete pass. Okay, you see how I put replay? Because I didn't know, I forgot that I could stop it, right? So this was a key point in the game where I wanted to discuss the boundary field stuff. Okay, so here. This is a high-low, right? This is a flood concept. Oh, there it is, flood, right? So a stock zone would have a problem against this, right? Because he would run off somebody, and then on top of that, we got a high-low read here. So a lot of times, I won't leave playing. Oh, well, I was playing a match coverage. Okay, so I'm all over the place. But if I was playing cover 3 cloud would get busted against this, right? It just wouldn't be able to defend it. But a lot of times I would stay in cover 3 cloud despite them running something like this to see if they just pick this play just to run it, right? A lot of times people pick plays without no rhyme or reason, and then they run it, and then they move on to the next play, right? So just because they pick a play that theoretically beats your coverage, it doesn't mean that you need to switch out of your coverage. Wait and see if they continue to pick concepts that high-low defenders. And when they start doing that, this is where you want to play match, right? So you can deal with the high lows in a more efficient manner. He goes empty, so I go cover 9, and I remember in cover 9 against empty, the 3 rec doesn't properly play the number 3. So that's why I always play the number 3 against the 3 rec and user him against the number 3, right? So I haven't checked to see how the coverage plays against it, and we give up a gain. And then my opponent does something surprising here. I think he punted the ball, right? It's the first time I've seen somebody be that conservative on 4th and 1 in Madden this year, right? So kudos to him for doing that. Okay, double high. Check into the run, soft box. I really hate that animation with the offensive lineman while running that play, but that's okay. And we noticed that he was running a blitz. Okay, this is cover 0. Cover 0. I don't remember what I did. Oh, I remember what I did here. You see this clock? I didn't have enough time. This pisses me off. When you see cover 0, okay, you should be jumping for joy. I like this. If you're not jumping for joy when someone plays cover 0 against you, then you need to practice attacking cover 0. Okay, you want to get to the point to where you invite cover 0. When Peyton Manning saw cover 0, okay, he saw an potential big play, right? Same with Brady, same with all the great quarterbacks. When they know cover 0 is coming and they are prepared for it, okay, they know they have a potential to get a big play. Okay, so you should salivate at stuff like this. And this is what happened here. I was going to run my play. You saw the big play I ran earlier with the post, right? But I noticed I didn't have enough time. I was about to hit the two minute warning. So I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time to move this guy in the block and etc. And I don't want it to where we get to the 2 minute warning and then the next play he's picked something else, right? I want cover 0. So what I do, I check into our slants play, our dragon play, quick slants, where we have a flat and a slant combination on both sides of the field, I believe, with the back blocking. And I was just going to attack away from the back. Look how quick I snapped the ball. Snap. Okay, that's wide open. Right into the window. Turn it up for a touchdown. And wow, right? So irritating, right? Actually, and look how I picked my wide receiver post play again, expecting cover 0, but again, obviously he noticed that my player dropped a wide open pass to take it up to the end zone, so he's not playing cover 0 anymore. The way you get people out of cover 0 is to thrash cover 0. You notice how the next play he's out of it, right? Okay, so just a little tidbit. So this is double high. I check into our levels concept. So again, I should read this player to confirm post snap. He comes down. Look at that. You stay, my eyes stay. Right? You leave, as he's doing coming down, my eyes leave. Where? To the single high side. So now my eyes are over here. Do we like one? No. And look how I was trying to throw that comeback pattern. But, you know, as Burrow has been doing this year, he gets hit, right? The offensive lineman. I should rewind it to see what happened. Yeah, that someone got beat pretty badly there. But that's okay. Single high, right? I think I checked into the... Yeah, I checked into our dragon concept. I probably will be working this side of the field. Okay. Again, what are we reading in this play? We're reading the second defender in. You stay in the window of the slant, we throw the flat. You widen with the flat, we throw the slant, right? Look how these plays, we understand the concepts of these plays, and we just exploit our opponent. 4th and 6, you know, we're not being hurried, we're not in a rush, we're just calm, cool, and collected, and we just throw the flat, right? Pick up what, 15 yards on a slant? I mean a flat. Move on to the next play. Double high. Checking the levels. He's going to confirm post snap. Oh, you leave, my eyes leave. I felt the pressure coming from over here. This is pocket presence right here. It's good stuff. There it is. Single high, right? We see why he left, right? That's the benefit of plays like this. It shows a pre-snap look of double high, and then post-snap they rotate into the true coverage. You're not obligated to tell the truth pre-snap as a defense. You are obligated to tell the truth post-snap, right? So that's why post-snap we confirm on this safety over here in that play. Back at it. Double high look. This is why I love this play. Double high, work this side. Single high, we work. It's a combo play where we can beat a variety of different coverages. So if we play against an opponent who pre-snap disguises, then we can rely on post-snap reading and still have somewhere to attack no matter what you run, right? Now, if it's two-man, we really don't like this play, right? But in two-man, these guys are going to be playing on the LOS and inside leverage. If they were playing two-man from this particular alignments, you know, they would get torched without pressing. I've seen the animation in the game. Snap. Read this player. He's coming down again, right? Look how we have the blitz, so now we know we need to work the single high side. Oh, is this just a replay? Yeah, it's just a replay of the play before. So I forgot that I could pause with this application that I have. So I'm like, you know what, let me throw in this replay because I really want to give a teaching point here. This is cover 0. You guys know the deal. I'm jumping for joy here. Move my guy. 6-man protection. Set the mic there. Do we feel good? Yeah, we feel good. Touch. Right? Good play. Blocked it up. Let's move on. Here I'm playing 2-match. One of you guys just recently asked, you were on a previous video I made on cover 2-match from last year, and you asked, does 2-match still work the same as last year? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. It's good how you can watch a video from 2022 or 2023 and the concepts are still the same. It's why it's so important to learn concepts, not plays, right? You learn the dragon concept. We can jump in a time machine 10 years from now, pick up a football game, and run the dragon concept and know what we're supposed to do in that concept because it doesn't change, right? When we're playing against single high, we're going to read the second defender in, right? That's why it's important to learn concepts, not plays. Okay, so I'm running 2-match. Oh, okay, so here with 2-match, go watch my video on 2-match. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The 3 rec, I turn him to a QB spy so it can work properly. And I'm keying the number 3. If he goes out and this guy comes in, well, then he's the new number 2 and this guy is the new number 3 and I'm responsible for the 3, right? So when I see him overtake this guy, I know I'm responsible for him. And this is how I get an interception. So I think I did the play again, because I forgot that I could pause on this application. But we could watch it again. Look how we're playing double high, and he's running dragon, which is horrible against double high. Right? It's not good against a 2-zone. So right away you can tell when a player really doesn't understand concepts. He's just picking plays, right? I think they're running double slants over here. So this is good against double high. But it's not a true slant. He's actually coming to sit inside. That's just not a great play against 2-zone. Why would you pick that play against 2-zone? Right? But it's okay, you know. We all got this is cover 0 again. So I don't remember what happened. I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit him with a quick hitting slants play we got here. Okay, I was all messed up here. I think I was trying to audible, trying to do something. I think I thought I had a specific play called, and then I threw it, but I'm like, skip it. Let me just run it. I remember what happened there. I thought I had wide receiver post called. Okay, I thought I had wide receiver post called, and then I wanted to change into a dragon concept on this side. So I think I was going to do a 5-man protection, where if the 6-man comes free from this side, then I know I throw the slant. But if the 6-man decides to not come, if it's the user, he wants to get in the window of the slant, then I throw the deep post, knowing that my 5-man slide would pick up the oncoming pressure. So I think I'll just fast forward this stuff. This is boring stuff. We go ahead and pick up a touchdown here. This is, I'm just window dressing, giving the illusion of potential 4 strong. Throwing weak side on the slant. Easy pickings. 22-0. I went for 2. So I think I will leave it at that. He does a play action fake. And again, I mean, there's no concepts there, right? Let's go back. Right? This play, like, I know some people think these plays, you know, are monsters in Madden. This play sucks, right? To me, you know, it's not a good play at all. It's good against man, right? Because these guys are just chasing these guys. And how you beat man is to run away from man, right? If you want to go the non-sophisticated route, right? But against zone, this should be horrible, right? And if this play works against a zone in Madden, it's because Madden probably isn't coded too properly, right? So in previous Maddens, people would run these types of plays to death. And I've noticed that this Madden just plays a lot better in some of these zones. You know, a lot of gimmicky offenses just do not work right in the game as long as you are playing, you know, coverages that are better suited for them, right? So when you're running this stuff, you're just running into zones. No player here is getting high load. I'm not in a conflict. I'm not into conflict. No one's into conflict, right? Look at this flat player. There's no one here to hold me, right? So imagine if we had this guy into the flat. What would that do? Well, you know, you can bite the cheese and jump the flat. And if you did, this guy would come right into your area, right? This is where you get flood concepts, smash concept, right? It's all about stretching defenders. Whenever you design an offense, this is my opinion. I'm not the all-be-all, okay? When you design an offense, I think the first thing you should be thinking about is how do we create vertical and horizontal stretches? And then from there, you decide, okay, well, if it's man, how do we beat man with these concepts? And then you throw in your little alterations into the routes to where it beats man as well if you run into, you know, cover 1 man or cover 0, etc. Right? I don't think you should start from the ground up. How do we beat man-to-man coverage? I don't think that that's the optimal way to go about it. Okay, you always want to have triangles in your offense. So you see how he's just not. In previous Maddens, if he was in hard flat, he would be down here, right? You see how it used to grind my gears. I'd be pissed off where I would show you guys stuff, and I would be like, hey, let me show you what hard flat does and the difference between hard flat and cloud flat. I would show you guys that stuff, and I would show you, hey, when this guy's in hard flat, this is actually wrong in Madden, and I would say it. If he's in hard flat and there's no one in the flat, he should be playing deeper, right? Because there's no point in him playing in the hard flat. You don't want a wasted man on defense, right? And it would piss me off, and I guess some people would get on there, man, you complain too much and etc. The whole point is to get the game right, right? So in this instance, I think he's in a hard flat in the cover 3 cloud. Hopefully I'm right. And he's supposed to be down here, right? But no one's there, so play a little bit deeper up, right? Because you're not being stretched. You're not put into conflict, right? We're able to get an interception. Okay, so, I hope, there's no way I'm going to find the video, because I remember going over a video. I think there was a video where I go over what does cloud flat mean? What does hard flat mean, right? And I think that was my most successful video. And I found that very interesting. A video that dealt with the simplest things about football. I thought it was just a boring video, but it was my most successful video as far as views. So I understand that a lot of people just kind of want to know the simple stuff, right? But in that very video, if you can go hunt it down if you want to, you can see that I remember talking about the hard flat and being pissed about how Madden had it coded wrong. And it was for that exact reason what we saw in the last play, right? In previous Maddens, he would be able to get, that's why those plays would work all the time when they shouldn't against zones, right? So I'll leave it at that. Here, when I'm up 22-0, I'm just picking different plays in my offense just to have fun, right? So right away, I know this play is good against single high. Just looking at the play art, right? And when he came out in single high, I'm like, hey, I can run this play, right? Because we get a high-low with the check release on this side. We got a comeback pattern to attack the single corner who doesn't have help over the top. I'll throw that at the top of the route. And I don't think we have much on this video. So, you know what? I think I will leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's not too long. I'm sorry for the poor quality, but whenever I get into the draw board or the Telestrator, we are not going to have high quality videos. Those will be when I go directly from the PS5. We run it in, and I think this is when he quits. So this is our 100th win. 16 losses, unfortunately. Right now we're on a 9-game win streak, I think. Well, whatever, okay? Leave it at that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Peace.